Hello, friends. I'm Samir, and I welcome you all to your own YouTube channel, Arivata. Friends, today in this video, we are going to discuss about a topic in the subject logic. Logic is a paper for art students. So, in the logic subject, we have a chapter called, we have a topic called the theory of inference. The theory of inference. So here in this video we are going to discuss about the theory of inference, that is the classification of inference, different types of inference, what is the nature of that inferences, and what are the different categories of those inferences we are going to discuss in this video. So let's start, friends. Now first of all, the classification of inference. So we know that logic is concerned with the appraisal of arguments. Logic is something which deals with arguments. Now what is an argument? Now, an argument is otherwise known as inference. We know before that argument is something where there is a group of sentences or propositions are there. Out of them, the last proposition should be the conclusion, and the previous proposition should be premises. So logic is concerned with arguments. It is something which deals with arguments. And an argument is also known as inference in some special cases. Now logic make a distinction between inference and arguments. There is a distinction or little bit slight difference between the inference and arguments. By holding the inference is a mental process and is the only for oneself. Inference is a mental process, while an argument is a verbalized inference. We can say argument in terms of inference that it is a verbalized inference. If we are thinking about the arguments logically, then that is called inference. It is a mental process. But if you are representing it verbally, if you are representing the inference verbally, then it becomes argument. So argument and inference, in one way they are same, in one way they are also different. I can say that they are the two faces of the same coin. So when an inference is expressed in language, it is called argument. This is the best expressions, that an inference is expressed in language. When an inference is expressed in language, it is called an argument. So inference is the mental process, and the linguistic or verbal representation of the inference becomes argument. Inference is a sequence of propositions where one of the propositions is identified as the conclusion and the rest of the propositions are called premises, such that premises justify or support the truth of the conclusions. So as I told you that arguments and inference, they are in one way they are same, so they have a sort of similarities. So just like arguments, inference also made up of few propositions or a sequence of propositions where the last proposition must be the conclusion and the previous propositions are premises. And here the premises, how many they may be, but they justify or support the truth of the conclusions. So based on the premises, we can conclude or we can get the truth of the conclusion here in case of inference. So we can say that an inference is a relation between premises and conclusion. So inference is a mental process and it is nothing but it is associated with the relation between the premises and the conclusion. So on the basis of this relationship, all the inferences are classified into two types based on the relation of the conclusion and the premises. The inferences are classified into two types. They are inductive inference and deductive inference. So inductive inference and deductive inference, let's discuss them separately. First of all, about inductive inference. An inductive inference is a kind of inference where the conclusion is not conclusively justified by the premises. If the conclusion is not properly supported or justified by the premises, or if the premises are not properly supporting the conclusion conclusively, remember this word conclusively, then that is called inductive inference. So its aim is to make a generalization on the basis of uncontradicted experiences of observations of finite number of cases. So what is the aim of inductive inference? The aim of the inductive inference is to generalize the basis of uncontradicted experiments of observations. So taking few finite number of cases, in inductive inference we always focus on to make a generalizations of the statement. So the set of premises of any inductive inference must be finite and are based on the uncontradicted experiences. The conclusion is just the generalization of such uncontradicted experiences and thus is always probably true. So in case of inductive inference, the conclusion is mostly true, generally it is true, and the conclusion is the generalizations of the obtained from the premises, and the premises are uncontradicted. They do not contradict each other, they support each other. Okay friends, so the form of an inductive inference is, we can see a general form of inductive inference here, that each of A1, A2 up to AN has been observed to be S is P. P is the property, S is the statement. So nothing has been observed to be S without P. Without the property P, no S is observed. Therefore, probably all S are P. So this A1, A2, AN has been observed to be S is P is n number of premises, and the last one, that nothing has been observed to be S without P is also the premises, is the last premise. And finally we are concluding that we can say that probably all S are P here, and generally it is true also. Okay friends, so this is all about inductive inference. Inductive inference do not have any branch here for discussions. Here our topic will be purely based on deductive inference, because inductive inference we have discussed in our class 11th. So now let's focus on deductive inference. Deductive inference is a kind of inference where the truth of the premises conclusively support the truth of the conclusions. So in case of inductive inference, the premises may not support the conclusion, but here that in the deductive inference, it is such a kind of inference where the truth of the premises conclusively purely support the truth of the conclusions. So in a valid deductive argument, which is called inference also, in a valid deductive argument or inference, it is impossible for the premises to be true and the conclusion to be false. So if the deductive argument or deductive inference is a valid one, we already discussed what is valid or invalid in a previous video. So it is impossible here in this case, in deductive argument or deductive inference, that the premises are true, all the premises are true, but the conclusion is false. It is not possible. Conclusion cannot be false if premises are all true. So deductive inferences are then again categorized into two types depending upon the number or premises of the argument contains. So depending on how many premises, depending on how many premises the argument contains, the deductive inference are categorized in two types, and they are immediate inferences and mediate inferences. Immediate inferences and mediate inferences. So first let's discuss immediate inferences. An immediate inference is a type of deductive inference in which the conclusion is derived from exactly one premise. If it is such an inference where there is only one premise and one conclusion, and directly from that particular premise you can come to the conclusions, you can come to the conclusion here, you can derive the conclusion, then that type of inference is called immediate inference. It is called immediate because there is no other premise existing between the initial premise and the conclusions. Between the conclusion and the initial premise there is no other premise. So directly you are coming to the conclusion, that's why it's called immediate inference. There is an example for you, friends. All men are mortal is the premise. Therefore, some mortals are men is the conclusions. So here you can see all men are mortal is directly supporting the fact or the conclusion that some mortals are men. If all the men are mortal, then definitely some mortals are men. So, and it is absolutely correct here. So here the premise is directly supporting the conclusions. If the premise is true, then definitely the conclusion is true. Now, immediate inferences are also categorized in three categories. They are very important, and our today's topic of discussion will be based on these three categories also. The first one is conversion, second is obversions, and third is contraposition. Okay, friends? First is conversion, obversion, and contraposition. Now, we'll discuss all these topics in the end part or the second part of this video, of the same video. But now let's focus on, it's a big topic, it's the actual topic of discussion of this chapter. So let's focus on that. Another mediate, that is another inference, that is mediate inference. I told you there are two inferences based on the number of premises used in the inference, that is immediate and mediate. So now come to mediate inference. So a deductive inference is called mediate if the conclusion is obtained by use of more than one premises. If more than one premises are used in the inference, then that deductive inference is called mediate inference. Again, this mediate inference are categorized in two categories. They are syllogistic mediate inference and non-syllogistic mediate inference. Syllogistic mediate inference and non-syllogistic mediate inference. Okay, friends? Now come to syllogistic inference. I am not saying it full form syllogistic mediate inference. I am shortly saying syllogistic inference. I hope you can understand it. So syllogistic inference is an inference, or an inference is called a syllogistic if and only if the conclusion is derived from the two premises taken jointly. say there are two premises, then only after considering the two premises together or jointly we can come to the conclusion. If it happens in any type of inference, then that is called syllogistic inference. Here the number of premises are exactly 2, and it is essential to use both the premises to obtain the conclusion. Also, the conclusion cannot be derived if we do not jointly consider these two premises. In syllogistic inference, there should be only two premises, and to get the conclusion, we must use both of them together. And if we are not taking them together, then we will not able to come to the conclusions. The conclusion will not be true. Okay, let's try to understand through one example. All men are mortal, all kings are mortal. These two are premises. Now, if I am combining them together, if I am taking them together, if both the premises are true, say both the premises are true, that all men are mortal and all kings are men, then we can conclude that all kings are also mortal. It is the conclusion. All kings are mortal. Now, if we will not consider any one of them, then we cannot come to the conclusion that all kings are mortal. If we will not consider all men are mortal, we will take all kings are men, then we cannot say from only all kings are men, we cannot say that all kings are mortal. Or from only all males are mortal, directly we cannot come to the conclusion that all kings are mortal. So, to come to the conclusion that all kings are mortal, we have to consider both the two premises. Combining these two only, we are coming to this conclusion. And this type of inferences are called syllogistic inferences. Okay, friends. Now come to our second category, non-syllogistic inferences. So, a mediate deductive inference is called non-syllogistic if the conclusion is derived from more than two premises. Syllogistic based on two premises only, non-syllogistic based on more than two premises. So, if there are more than two premises in an inference or argument and the conclusion is derived taking all the premises together at a time, then that is called non-syllogistic inference. Okay, friends. So, remember, syllogistic based on two premises and non-syllogistic based on more than two premises. So, here we don't have the restriction to use all the premises jointly to derive the conclusions, unlike the syllogistic inferences. So, there is one exclusion here, that in syllogistic inference we have to consider both the two premises together to come to the conclusion. But in non-syllogistic inference, it is not restricted, or there is no fixed rule or constant rule to use all the premises jointly to come to the conclusions. Using one or some of the premises used in the non-syllogistic inference, we can come to the conclusion also. Now, syllogistic inference are of also two types. They are called pure syllogistic inference and mixed syllogistic inference. Okay, friends. Syllogistic inference are categorized in two types, pure syllogistic and mixed syllogistic inferences. Now, let's focus on pure syllogistic inference. If all the propositions, including the premises and the conclusion, are of one type, then it is called pure syllogistic inference. If the premises and conclusion, they all are of same type, of same category, then they are called pure syllogistic inference. And pure syllogistic inference are again divided into two categories. They are of two types, that is categorical pure syllogistic inference and hypothetical pure syllogistic inferences. Now, what is categorical syllogistic inference or categorical pure syllogistic inference? If all the propositions in a syllogism are categorical, then it is called categorical syllogism. Categorical is a special term that we discussed in our previous chapters of logic. You can see that videos also for the reference. So, if all the propositions in a syllogistic inference are categorical type, then it is called categorical syllogism. Then what is hypothetical pure syllogistic inference? If all the propositions in a syllogism are hypothetical propositions, then it is called pure hypothetical or hypothetical syllogism. Okay. Now, this is all about pure syllogistic. There are two types I told you, categorical and hypothetical. Now, let's come to the mixed syllogistic inference. Mixed syllogistic inference, what is the definition of it? If an inference contains different kinds of propositions, then it is called mixed syllogistic inference. So, pure syllogistic inference contains same type of premises and conclusions, and mixed syllogistic inference contains different kinds of propositions. So, they are behaving according to their name. Pure contains same type or one type, mixed contains different types of propositions. So, mixed syllogistic inference, they are categorized in 4 different categories, or they are of 4 types, 4 different types. They are gradually hypothetical categorical mixed syllogistic inference, disjunctive categorical mixed syllogistic inference, alternative categorical mixed syllogistic inference, and the last is dilemma. Last is dilemma. So, like that, there are 4 different type of mixed syllogistic inferences. Now, let's come to the first type of mixed syllogistic inference, that is hypothetical categorical syllogism. It is a kind of syllogism where the major premise is hypothetical and the minor premise is categorical. That's why it is called hypothetical categorical. So, a syllogism where I told you syllogism contains only 2 premises. One premise, say it is, we are saying major premise, and the second premise, say we are saying it as the minor premise. So, if the major premise is in the syllogism is a hypothetical type and the minor premise is a categorical type, and the conclusion, the third statement, which is the conclusion, is also categorical type, then that type of syllogism is called hypothetical categorical syllogism. Okay. Now, come to disjunctive categorical syllogism. It is a mixed syllogism. These all are also mixed types. So, there is no specialty here. It is a mixed syllogism where the major premise is disjunctive and the minor premise is categorical, and the conclusion is also categorical. It is called disjunctive categorical syllogism. So, they are behaving according to their name. The third type is alternative categorical syllogism. Here the major premise is alternative type, the minor premise is a categorical type, and the conclusion is, as always, categorical type. So, alternative categorical syllogisms. The fourth one is dilemma. It is a kind of mixed syllogism consisting of compound hypothetical propositions as its major premise. Its major premise is a compound hypothetical propositions, and the minor premise is a disjunctive propositions, and the conclusion is either categorical or disjunctive. Okay, friends, this is all about this 4 type of syllogism, mixed syllogism. Now, We can understand these four types in this table I have written for you. Here I have written in the first column I have written the kinds. In the second I told you the nature of major premise here. In the third column I have written the nature of minor premise, and the fourth column I have written the nature of the conclusion here. So first one is hypothetical categorical syllogism. Here the major premise is hypothetical, minor premise is categorical, and conclusion is categorical. The second is disjunctive categorical syllogism. Here the major premise is disjunctive, minor premise is categorical, and the conclusion is also categorical. The third is alternative categorical syllogism. Here the major premise is alternative type, minor premise is categorical type, and the conclusion is also categorical here. And the last one, dilemma, is such a syllogism where the major premise is compound hypothetical type, major premise is disjunctive type, and the conclusion here it may be either disjunctive or categorical. It may be anything. Okay friends, I think this will help you to understand and remember this different type of syllogism here. Now we can understand all these things that we discussed in today's video through this table. This table will help you to remember and understand all the topics that we have discussed today. So today we discussed that the inference are categorized in two categories. They are deductive inference and inductive inference. So we have not discussed inductive inferences here because inductive inferences also has some branches, but as we discussed it earlier in our previous videos, so here we are not coming to that one. Here our aim is the deductive inference only. Deductive inference here we have divided in two categories, that is mediate deductive inference and immediate deductive inference. So they are behaving according to their name. Immediate means we are getting directly here the result, the premise is directly supporting the conclusion. So they are categorized in two categories, conversion, obversion and contrapositions. So one question come to your mind that we have not discussed these three here. So I told you already in this video at the beginning that these three immediate inferences, conversion, obversion and contraposition, are our actual topic of this chapter that we will discuss in the part 2 of this coming video. Okay friends, so these topics we are keeping for the next video. Now coming to the mediate deductive inference, they are also categorized in two types. They are syllogistic mediate deductive inference and non-syllogistic mediate deductive inference. Non-syllogistic do not have any branches, but syllogistic have some branch. They are of two categories. They are pure syllogistic and mixed syllogistic. Okay, I told you already, syllogistic contains only two premises with conclusions, and non-syllogistic contains more than two premises with conclusion. That syllogistic, which is pure and mixed, will behave according to their name. In pure syllogistic, the two premises and the conclusion, they are of same type, they are of same categories. In mixed syllogistic inference, the two premises and the conclusion, they may be of different categories or they are of different categories. Now pure syllogistic, they are of two types, that is categorical and hypothetical. These terms categorical and hypothetical we have already discussed in our previous chapters. You can see the videos for it for the reference. Now mixed syllogistic inference, they are categorized in four different categories, that is hypothetical categorical, disjunctive categorical, alternative categorical, and last is dilemma. And about this I discussed broadly at the end of this video. Already I discussed. So I think this table will help you to remember and understand the whole topic easily. So friends, in the next video we'll focus on the immediate deductive inferences, which are conversion, obversion and contrapositions. So I hope you are a little bit clear about this today's topic, which is the theory of inference. And thank you very much for watching this video.